Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 11/1/2023. Sorry for the delay, guys, was not feeling well so couldn't record quickly. So now, woman toddler son die as structure at Nama Metro construction site collapses. Guys, human activities has led to deaths at multiple parts. One at Joshimath, we are seeing how the construction activities are leading to deaths of people. And at the same time, now we are looking at how the construction activities is leading to problem in this region as well, guys. We won't pay a farthing more, says Union Carbide. See, guys, Bhopal gas tragedy was one of the worst tragedy that India ever saw. And after that, India understood that when we are dealing with the developed economies and the companies, we should try to make certain agreements to ensure that any disaster they will be paying us. But unfortunately, in let's say some 5 years back, when the government agreed for a price, guys, right? So government agreed that let us settle the issue, and the Union Carbide had to pay $470 million for that, and they had given 50 crores. Even till now, the central government or the state government has not given a single penny to the people. See how bad the government is. Second thing, now the government has raised to the Union Carbide that you need to pay more money, and they are going to the Supreme Court with respect to this. Supreme Court is telling that why are you again reopening the case which was 30 years back? And what do you want? Government is telling that now we are finding some new victims and they need to be compensated, so we need to add money to that. Whereas the court is telling that how far it is fair, because tomorrow, they will come and tell that we have paid more, so we should we consider even that. So the point here is opening the cases without actually doing what needs to be done is absolutely wrong. So guys, here we need to understand that in future disaster management or anything for that matter, when you write, whenever we try to sign agreements with other countries, we must be very clear about, right, what are the things that we need to consider if there is an accident. With respect to nuclear energy also, guys, when we went for the nuclear act as well, India has clearly mentioned that if any country gives us technology, and in case if that fails, then the country is held responsible. So India is trying to sign such agreements with other countries nowadays. Guys, India launched national clean air program, and according to this the aim was to reduce the pollutants in the environment. Unfortunately, this has not been successful. Very less cities have come out of it, but most of the cities they continue to emit more. Delhi and all, the pollution level has really increased. So that is what it is trying to tell. It is not successful. Tamil Nadu governor objects to Ondriya Arasu use. The governor and the state legislature. See, guys, this year definitely one question will be on the governor. So, governor chapter in the Lakshmi Khan, try to read carefully, guys. Supreme Court is taking up Joshimath land sinking case. I have given enough details about it. Anti-government protest in Peru claim 17 lives. Yes, this is a very important issue for us, guys. So let us look into the issue in detail. Anti-government protests in Peru claim 17 lives. See, guys, in Peru, the entire country is undergoing a major issue, that is with respect to the constitution. Mm, right, every time they are trying to write a constitution and ask the people, will you accept the constitution, and the people are saying no to it. And again the governments are changing, but no one is sure what type of constitution we have to make so that majority of the people will accept it. See, this is the reason why countries like Nepal and all, they try to, ensure that the constitution that they have written, they did not take permission from other countries, just to ensure that, all communities will not be on the same line with respect to any constitutional provisions. So we must be careful with respect to such issues, guys. Peru is undergoing lot of turbulence nowadays, mainly because one after the other the government is falling, and the protests have reached to such an extent that, 17 people have been killed. So this is important for us, how in developing countries democracy is under trouble. This study sheds light on how Blackbuck survey challenges. See, guys, any organism will have some genetic diversity, and genetic diversity is always important to ensure that the organism will sustain any sort of shocks. See, suddenly if there is, climate change, suddenly if there is, any new disease, all the animals will not collapse at the same time. Some organisms which have very good, what we call as genes, they will be able to survive. Now this Indian black buck is present only in India, that is, it is endemic to India. It is present in northern region, southern region and eastern region of India, and it is undergoing certain changes in its body so that it can adapt to the changing environment. That is what they are trying to tell. So I want you to know Indian black buck is endemic to India. Yeah. Lessons from Russia's Ukraine war. So yes, this is not so important because Stanley Johnny, whatever he has written, we have discussed it over a period of time, so don't worry about it. Bad and Ugly is about, the drama that is going on between the governor and the government in Tamil Nadu. Whether it is right or wrong, the article is telling it's absolutely wrong and it should not happen. Guys, this article can be asked in the mains exam, guys. The beginning of India's cultural renaissance, right? So India is trying to go for, like what we call as Ek Bharat Shresht Bharat. So under this, we are trying to connect, different parts of the country. So the first most important one that we have started recently is with respect to Kashi Tamil Sangam. See guys, Kashi is very important because of, what we call as India's cultural heritage, Sanatana Dharma and whatever we call, Kashi is very, very essential, Varanasi. At the same time, in Tamil Nadu, we have Rameshwaram, Madurai, all these places, which also holds very significant, position in India's cultural aspects. So Tamil Nadu and Kashi, when they are trying to interwing these two, then they are going to benefit the, tourism. Remember, in India, most of the people are unskilled laborers. So one thing which can provide them good job opportunities is textile industry. Second thing which helps them to provide job opportunities is, what we call as logistics. That is, shifting from train to bus, bus to train, these aspects. The third most important thing is tourism. And in India, majority of the tourism occurs to, religious places compared to other areas. So religious places plays a very important role when we talk about these aspects, right? So when more number of people are going regularly for religious tourism, it is very, very important for us to ensure that the religious tourism is maintained. For that, India is planning for Kashi Tamil Sangam, right? So under Kashi Tamil Sangam, Kashi Rameshwaram, there is a faith in our country that, first you go to Kashi, then you go to Rameshwaram, then again you go to Kashi, then only it will be complete. So the central government is trying to provide rail route, road route, right, to connect this. Earlier we had plans for connecting Krishna circuit. Later we told that we will go for Ram circuit. So now we are trying to connect all the Jyotirlings that are there with a modern connectivity approach. Now this will benefit India mainly because, one is textile industry. Kashi and Kanchipuram both have some sort of, what you call as silk weaving. So that can be a question about the silk industries. Second most important thing that we are interested in is about, the tourism aspect. So government is trying to promote this, fine, under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. So very, very important issue for us, guys. Barking up the wrong tree, race for Dalit, not so important issues, guys. This is important. DAC gives not to purchase indigenous defense systems. Acceptance of necessity given for three capital acquisition proposals amounting to 4,276 crores. See, guys, lot of we are planning to have lot of missiles and other things indigenously built. See, guys, whenever central government tries to purchase, build anything, what it is planning to do, it is trying to take a particular area. Around that particular area, missiles and other things they are trying to develop so that attack on them will be reduced. Some of these, so for example, around Delhi, we are going to have anti-ballistic defense system so that if anyone tries to attack Delhi, at that point of time, these missile system will be capable of hitting them back. At the same time, we also need certain short range air defense systems so that it is capable of, hitting near the border. For example, near the Chinese border and all, when we place certain missiles like this, so what is the benefit that we will get? It will attack the Chinese troops who are very close by. So that we need to protect, right? So for this, in your notes, what all must be there? What is NAG? Helena, helicopter launched NAG, right? Helicopter launched NAG, anti-tank guided missiles, very short range air defense system, BrahMos cruise missile launchers. These are the words which are very, very important for us, guys, and you must be aware about each one of these. Fine. So at least these names, guys: Helena, ATGM, Visharad, fire control system. All these are important. Constitution bench to take up Section A of Citizenship Act for preliminary determination. See, guys, citizenship, which is in, your Lakshmikant that you read. Along with that, you should know specifically about Section 6A. So what is Section 6A? See, guys, in Assam, there was some sort of fight between, what we call as Ulfa people, United Liberation Front of Assam, Assam Students Union, and Assam government. So when they were fighting, Rajiv Gandhi at that time went and asked, "What is the problem?" Then the people there, they told that our biggest problem is illegal migrants who came from Bangladesh. Should we give them any sort of what do you call as voting rights or not? At that point of time, in 1985, Rajiv Gandhi signed Assam Accord. According to that, they spoke about Assamese culture, heritage, linguistic, and social identities. And what they told, anyone who has entered into Assam state before 1966, fine, anyone who has entered into Assam before 1966, they would be called citizens of India. They will be given voting rights, everything. People who would have come in between 1966 to 1971, they will be given rights, but only for, only after 10 years. That means 10 years they don't have any rights. After that, they will have the rights. But this looks discriminatory. How can you differentiate the two? So now the Supreme Court wants to look into the issue. I want you to write down Section 6A, which talks about Assam Accord, Assam Accord, which was signed between all Assam Students Union, all Assam Students Union, Assam government, Assam government, and and central government. Full stop. Under 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 the accord, it was it was accepted that people who came to Assam, people who came to Assam before 1966 will be considered as Indian citizens, will be considered as Indian citizens, and they will have all the rights. Full stop. Those who had entered, those who had entered in between 1966 to March 25th, the date is important, guys. March 25th, 1971, they will have the rights, they will have the rights, but voting rights will be given only after only after 10 years. So guys, these very important. Yeah. Amid talk of Jammu Kashmir Assembly election politics, guys, this page is completely on politics. Joshimath residents oppose raising, demand higher relief payments. You're reading about them regularly. Yeah. Yes, this year there is possibility of a mains question on Indo-Australia, mainly because both the countries have agreed on the most important aspect, that is economic economic cooperation and trade agreement. Fine, you write down India and Australia. India and Australia have signed economic cooperation economic cooperation and trade agreement which would benefit which would benefit both India and both India and Australia. Along with this, India and Australia are part of G20, Quad, Quad, and other organizations to control Indo defense sorry Indo Pacific region. Yeah. These are the issues, guys. Nothing much. Thank you, guys.